a school has banned students from praying, and it would seem to be specifically Muslim students because it's congregational prayer that's banned. And who prays like that? Well, it's Muslims, isn't it? How can you ban someone from praying? I mean, what is prayer? If you don't believe in that religion, or you don't believe in God, presumably you think that those people are just talking to their imaginary friends. How are you going to ban that? Isn't it the belief that makes it into a prayer? And the English word prayer, I think, comes from a Latin word that means like begging for, asking for something, going to God and asking for something, which is probably actually closer to the Arabic word dua, or supplication, the form of prayer. There's a personal prayer, asking God for something, or calling upon God. Prayer that's been banned is the obligatory congregational prayer, or the salah, as it's known, which involves the prostration, the bowing down. That's what's been banned. And the origin of that word, I think, comes from a meaning of connecting with God. So how can you ban connecting with God? The movements are very similar to yoga. People that do yoga will know this. Would they ban yoga in school if children just wanted to perform if you were just performing the physical exercise and getting the physical benefits from it without making that connection to God in your heart? Would that be okay? What else are you going to ban? It seems to be your belief that is the problem. This is almost like a thought crime. You can do whatever you want, but don't believe that you're making a connection with God. And what are these kids going to do now that they've been banned from praying? And Islam is a very practical religion. And it might seem that there's a lot of rules to follow and a lot of stipulations, and you have to pray facing a certain direction, and you can't pray unless you've made ablutions, unless you've got your wudu and you've washed your hands and face and feet. But for almost every rule and regulation, there are conditions, leeway that makes it easier. So, washing your feet. Well, if you have wudu and you put your socks on, you've only got to wipe your socks now, and that counts as washing your feet. If there's absolutely no water anywhere, you can just get dust, blow your hands, tayammum. Now you've got wudu without even water. If you don't know the direction of the prayer, if it's impossible for you to find the direction of the Qibla, you can pray in any direction. It won't matter. If there's some reason that you can't stand and do the full prostration, if you're injured, if you're unwell, you can pray sitting down. And someone even mentioned to me one time that if you are completely unable to move, and people do get paralyzed, Sheikh Ahmed Didat was paralyzed for the last several years of his life. I'm sure he was still praying with his eyes. I've heard that you can pray with your eyes if you're unable to move. And this brings it back to the fact that prayer, whether it's Muslim prayer, congregational prayer, individual prayer, it's in your heart. And no one can take that away from you. No one can stop you from sitting quietly and praying, connecting with the Creator. So I hope these children will find a way to fulfill what they believe is their religious obligation. They've been told that they can't perform congregational prayer, but there's always a way around it. There's a will, there's a way.